We PB blasted the bolts, let it soak for a little bit, and then we used a...
Alright, welcome back. Today at MMR we are doing a drive shaft replacement. So we already took out the two-piece drive shaft that came with the cards. Again, it's a 2005 S197. And we're going to install a new one-piece solid aluminum drive shaft from Ford Performance.
Yep. You'll see the disassembly, but it was pretty simple. We PB blasted the bolts because they had been in there since 2005. But they really didn't put up much of a fight. We used an impact with, it was like 250 foot-pounds, but I don't think we needed that. The main difference you'll see between these two is the weight. So this is a little over 40 pounds.
Yeah, and I can easily pick this up in one hand.
It's like 20, less than 25 pounds.
Yeah. So,
especially as a rotational mass, that's a huge improvement. The other thing we're gonna get out of this is we have a lot of, I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
That's not good for driveline losses, so that's gonna be a really great improvement. Pretty much every joint you see is a position for there to be driveline loss, and on top of that there's a whole carrier bearing assembly, and these wear out and they make a lot of noise, so it's just a really good improvement. It should improve a little bit, should improve throttle response, but we should also get some more power to the rear wheels through this upgrade. Probably not noticeable as a driver, but you know, we'll take it. We're gonna throw that one in now.
get to it. Okay. So you see the two-piece drive shaft is still in the car, but Dan is currently spraying the original bolts just to loosen them up. So it's very ugly. Not that that matters, but what is, that's not WD-40, it's
PB blaster.
PB blaster.
Okay, now we wait for a little bit.
Okay, so bolts are sprayed. That'll help loosen them up, so we'll leave them for a bit. And then theoretically, this should just come right off, and then we can put the other one on.
Oops. I'm just gonna crack this one loose for now.
Or is that the last one?
Yeah.
Okay. What size bolts are these?
These are 10 millimeter. Well, I'm using a 10 millimeter socket.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be able to come down. Okay.
Hold this side up. Oh.
Don't even have a socket. If they're trying to put an extension on a bolt. Cut.
Yeah. Huh?
Okay, this whole thing's gonna want to come down.
Yep.
Maybe you could set your phone on something.
Yeah. Please hold. So you'll see Dan's just cleaning up the face of that before we put on the new drive shaft.
That's so crazy that we could easily turn that before. Now we can't. Oh, did I knock it into gear maybe? Yes.
Ah. Okay, so you can see Dane just took a wire brush attachment on his reel just to the transmission flange here and cleaned it up quite a bit. This is, you know, the old drive shaft hadn't been off probably since the car came out of the factory. So we did that, and then we just sprayed it with some brake clean to just try to clean it up as much as we can before we get the new drive shaft on. But I think we're good to go. Are you tightening those bolts?
What's up?
What were you doing?
Oh, just this plug hangs down a lot. I was just making sure it was tight.
Ah.
Weird.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
So before we put this in, there's just one small note that you have to, there's two different types of bolts on the back on the diff flange. And you have to put these particular bolts, so there's socket head cap screws, and then there's just flanged six-sided bolts, hex bolt. And you have to put these hex bolts into the flange while you've got the ability to pivot it out of the way. And then when you flatten that out, they kind of keep themselves in there so that you can put that up into the car. And then the rest of these bolts can still be put in and dropped when the flange is flat. So that's just a little note about the installation, is those have to be pre-installed before it goes in the car. They have all got a little bit of thread locker on them pre-applied. Otherwise you would blue Loctite these, and it's like it's 41 foot-pounds in the back and then 76 at the transmission flange. So we're gonna throw this up in there now.
Good. Okay, she's starting to get settled in. So we have not tightened anything. We've just got these up front to get it situated. And you can see Dan's trying to now get the rear in. Right.
Yeah. Just gotta compress it a little bit. There we go. I don't like the way those are feeling. Don't go play disc golf and then try to work with your hands above your head.
Shoulders coming.
Weak.
I mean, I can sub out if you miss yours.
I just don't like the way these are threading in. So I got them all started. I'm going to tighten these bolts first just to get the flange flush with the diff flange. And then we'll tighten this 4 smaller one. The 4 socket.
Cool.
Painfully slow. Okay, so we got the new drive shaft in. Went pretty straightforward. We had a little bit of difficulty torquing the bolts because the engine would not hold. It was turning over while we were trying to torque the bolts. So what we ended up getting the back bolts all torqued to spec, but the trans bolts we just had to use an impact and just hope that we got it to the right spec. I think we got more than what we need, but that's the install. It was pretty straightforward, no big deal. Now we're gonna take it for a test drive and see if it's noticeable.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, Dan, well, first off, how'd the car drive with the new drive shaft? Noticeable? No.
I only drove it up and down a street a little bit, so it's hard to say for certain. Probably a placebo effect at this point, but maybe there's something there. We're gonna drive it tomorrow at Autocross, so we'll see if it produces some kind of noticeable result there.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty simple install. And if your old 2-piece drive shaft is all worn out, then that's a good upgrade. It's only $600, I think, from American Muscle, so not bad. We did go ahead and we bought a new wheel. This is what we've been running. It looks really cool, feels good in the hand. It has a dish to it. Really, just a personal preference, I think. But we have a rally car now, and it has a stock wheel in it still. So we were going to put this in the rally car. And so we've purchased another option for this car now, which is it's a flat bottom wheel. You can see there's very little dish, if at all. It's almost a flat wheel, but the diameter is thicker of the
actual handle
of the wheel itself. It's a smaller diameter. Well, I guess if you hold it up here, it's just because it's D-shaped or flat bottomed, but it's just a wider, a thicker rim. Feels good in the hand, looks cool, looks like race car shit. So I think we will we'll hang on to this one for tomorrow at the event and run this one And if we hate it for some reason, we'll have this one to swap off. We have NRG quick release hubs on both of them, so either one can be swapped into the car
Yeah.
at a moment's notice.
And like Dan said, we bought a rally car. We need to make a video on this, so I won't touch on it too much, but we're gonna put one of those wheels in here because you can see that it's got the stock wheel that came with this car that has just been torn apart. So that's the first upgrade we're gonna do. But yeah, I mean, all in all, good day in the shop. I think don't have too much else to do. So yeah, pretty straightforward. So like Dan said, if you're still running the 2-piece drive shaft and want an upgrade, I mean, it saves weight and there are some potential upsides there. So hopefully we'll be able to tell a difference when we're either on the autocross course or the track. So and we'll see if we like this new wheel or not. So thank you guys for watching. We've got an event tomorrow. Then we've got the last event of the season, unfortunately, in a couple weeks. So autocross is wrapping up, and then rallycross, and then some off-season projects we've got planned. So we'll be making some videos of those soon, and see you guys next time.